Thursday 29th of May, 8:25 UK time. This is Bitcoin USDT, and we're on the 4-hour chart, and we finally had the breakout of this rising channel which we've been monitoring for the past few weeks. If I just go back to the day candles just so you can see the bigger picture. So we had this rundown which starting from January, landed down, hit this support resistance area and started to form this rising channel, and that began around the 7th of April. And since then, this trend line here on the bottom of the rising channel has not been broken until yesterday. That is almost a full 2 months within this pattern. Okay, rising channels, rising wedges, they all have a higher probability of breaking to the downside, usually a 70% chance of it breaking to the downside when it does break out of the bottom trend line of that pattern. So let's just zoom in quickly. Now, as you know, if you've been following my videos, you would see that we've kind of predicted quite a few of these moves. We had the breakout of this support resistance area, and we put in a video around this with ideas of doing a short trade and getting out of the trade by the time it comes to the bottom of this trend line. And then we done another video with the idea of a bounce, but I was saying in that video I wouldn't really bank on a higher high than the highs that we had, the break all-time high at 111,000. I was like, it's been in this pattern for almost 7 weeks and it's going to come to a breakdown at some point, and it has. But let's look at this breakdown. Let's get into the details of it. Now, if you'll notice that when it broke out, we also had this rising wedge within the pattern of the rising channel, which also has a higher probability of breaking to the downside. You'll see that in my last video. Okay, so it broke down out. Just look at the retest on this. This is like almost textbook stuff. So break, the idea, if you can buy on the break. So some people buy just as it breaks this trend line, maybe buy somewhere just out of it, buy in, but it's usually safer to get some kind of retest. You could buy in here on the breakout and set your stop loss within the pattern, because if it comes back within the pattern, then the whole idea of that pattern is failed. But we had that breakout, we had the retest almost to the line, and now look at the move down. Now that's the kind of bigger picture. So like I was saying in my previous videos, where would we be looking for this to go? So the idea is you take the measured move of the pattern, the opening of the pattern, so wherever the pattern began, you take that measurement. So you take this measured move, you'd measure it like that, and let's bring it to the breakout point. So it broke out here. Okay, so I've just taken it. Let me just color this a different color, so do a sky blue or something. So as you can see, that's the measured move, and doesn't it perfectly land on the 99 support resistance line? Look at that. So that will be the idea. You've bought in. It's actually broken below this support resistance line as well. So if you come in and you get a retest on the downside of this, retesting here, then that's the idea for more moves. Taking profits by 101. I would say even 70% of this line move, you should be taking profits of some sort. Even beginning 50, maybe at 103. If you'd have got in here, be taking profits. How much of your account to risk, that's down to you. With crypto, I don't think anything more than 2, maximum 3, but the practice is actually using 1% per trade. So on a short time frame, let's see what's happening. So we have the RSI on the 4 hour, it's kind of reading at 34. If we go to the 1 hour, the RSI is clearly oversold. In fact, let me quickly adjust this settings here, because I like to have my RSI readings on 80 on the upper band and 20 on the lower. So when I look at it, I can see if it's hitting 20, it's oversold. It's not like the normal oversold at 30 where everyone's looking. So as you can see, we have a flat. Let me just rise up this RSI. A slight climb from this point to this point, slightly higher, with the price action at the same point coming down. So when we zoom in and we look at the 15-minute or so, we can see that the price was running down, and we basically had a flat reading from this point to this point. There isn't really no slope on it, but let's go to the 5-minute and have a closer look. Now on the 5-minute, you can see that you have price sloping, and we have on the RSI readings that are sloping upwards. This is called a divergence, bullish divergence. So it's a sign that price will likely be having a turnaround. How much of it will be doing, we're not sure. We're not sure if we could break this 106 line that is broken below now. It's had the retest and it's made its way down. So you know, on a very short term, short trade, day trading type thing, that will be an idea to get into the trade for maybe a brief long. But we must remember this could be the beginning of a downtrend now. So it's all about the momentum and what's happening there. So that's all from me. Let's see where Bitcoin goes next. I'm going to leave this line on the chart so that when we hit our next video, we can see exactly what's happening. Let's take it back to the 4 hour for a moment. Okay, so as I said, that's the measured move. Okay, and I have also mentioned in my previous video that have the price come down here and break below, we could actually have before seeing some more possible upside and possible break of the all-time highs again. I believe that 91,000 could be a decent correction before any possible moves up. Have it come down here and continue up. I'll kind of be more expecting a double top and maybe some more way down before. I mean, it's just that this is exhausted, you know. If we come to the day chart, you can see that this has been in oversold territories for the last month, since 25th of April. So we've had on the day chart oversold for quite a while on RSI. It's not everything, but coupled in with other ideas, the amount of time it had been in this rising channel, I do believe that for more decent upside, we'll need to see some kind of decent pullback before, and that 91,000 is quite a strong support line here for the best part of 4 months, almost retested here. So it coming down here and holding, I have faith that it could do that. But if it comes down here, I don't know if that's enough of a pullback for it to run much higher. So yeah, it's all about watching what the price is doing and react to what's happening on the charts, rather than trying to predict. So anyway, that's all from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you find it useful, please like, comment or subscribe, and see you on the next video.